Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chris. It is another fall favorites video. This time it's going to be some of my favorite niche perfumes to wear in the fall. And again, this is not a complete list. I did my designer video about a week ago. I will be doing a separate video based on more affordable perfumes, but today are some niche perfumes that I know I'm going to reach for in the colder weather in this autumnal fall season. A few weeks ago, I filmed my favorite designer perfumes to wear. Right now, I'm going to choose some of the niche perfumes that I know I'm going to wear this fall. There was no way I could put all of my fall favorites in one video, but the way that I chose the perfumes today, these are fragrances I know I'm going to be wearing in the next couple months, and I've already started wearing a few. The only caveat is this does not include basically my honey and tobacco fragrances. That will be a separate video, and I will do a separate video based on some of my more affordable choices for the fall and winter. And with that, I'm just gonna dive right in. So two perfumes I knew without a doubt I was going to be wearing a lot in the fall season, and I don't typically wear these in the warmer months, are a couple fragrances by BDK. They are Gris Charnel, the original, and the Extrait version. I typically don't buy the OG and the Extrait. I choose one or the other, but I've had the original Gris Charnel for several years. I think I got this even before I started my channel. And the reason why this was making the video is because this is my go-to when the weather is cold and rainy. I always choose the original Gris Charnel. There's something about it that's just super comforting. And it was one of the first fragrances that had a prominent note of fig that I really enjoyed. So to me, this is a spicy black tea served in like a sandalwood mug with a heavy dose of fig syrup. The fig is very prominent in here in addition to the sandalwood. Now the Extrait version is quite different in my opinion. The fig is really toned down. The sandalwood is a little bit more prominent, and it's spicy, and it has a gorgeous vanillic note that I get in the mid and deep dry down. That vanillic note comes out a lot more. So this is a little bit more vanillic, slightly more woody, and a lot less fig. So if I had to choose, if I was gonna get rid of one, I would get rid of the OG because I just prefer this one more. Even though I like to wear this when it's really cold. So two perfumes I know I'm gonna be wearing in the next couple months, have already worn my two Gris Charnels. A perfume that I got last spring that I have been dying to wear. This was an instant love, but I didn't wear it a whole lot because this perfume screams fall and winter, and it is Sugar Leather. This is my very favorite leather perfume. Leather in perfumes has always been a little bit of a challenge for me. In fact, there was a time I didn't own a single perfume that had a leather accord in it. Now I have a handful because I've found several leather fragrances that I adore. This is right at the top of the list. If you like something like Angel Share and you thought it was too sweet, too heavy, too syrupy, and you liked something like Herod, but you were just disappointed with the performance, this is your answer. This is gorgeous. So this is very similar to the two I just spoke about, but it has a leather accord. The leather in here is very sweet because of the other notes involved. So if you love cinnamon, you love dry fruits, you love caramel, and you're looking for a sweet, easy wear leather, look no further. Sugar Leather is where it's at, and I freaking love this perfume. So I enjoy apple and cherry in a perfume, and I know it's very cliche to say I wear apple during the fall, but I do. But I like other fruits, and I also really like cherry, and I have a ton of cherry perfumes. But when I looked at my collection and I said, what is the one cherry perfume that I know I'm gonna be wearing in the fall and winter, and if I had to choose one cherry perfume to wear, it was going to be this one right here, Duchessa. I have not hidden the fact that I am still a fan of the original Lost Cherry, even though I am disappointed in some of the things about that perfume, the high price, which I did not pay because I got it at the cosmetics company store, and the performance is not great. Duchessa is a different cherry. The cherry is slightly boozy, but it's not as boozy as it is in Lost Cherry. This has saffron, this has spices, it's powdery, and it definitely has almond. I do love the additional spiciness that this contains that Lost Cherry does not. I want to say this has like anise and cloves in addition to saffron. It just gives it a little bit more depth. almost like a Middle Eastern flair. Maybe the slightest touch of a floral. I love the almond in here, and this performs like a beast. So this has excellent performance. It is a beautiful cherry perfume, and I am definitely gonna wear it. I tend to baby it because I went to a lot of trouble to get it, but I'm gonna stop that nonsense and wear it a lot in the colder months. So in the cold months, I do love to wear woody perfumes. I love woody perfumes in general. Oud can be a little bit challenging for me, and I've always been looking for that perfect fruity oud perfume, and I think I have two now that I really love, and this one is a new pickup. It is Mola Rouge Extreme. This is a beautiful red berry oud caramel fragrance. So to be specific, the red berries in here, I believe, are raspberry and cherry. I really get more raspberry, and the oud is present in the beginning, but it's not screechy. It is one of the smoothest. It's on the clean side, so it is a clean, non-animalic oud, and it's not screechy. Some clean ouds can be screechy. This is so smooth and blended so nicely with these slightly tart red fruits and a little bit of that caramel sweetness. So if you love your fruity notes, you like a little bit of caramel sweetness, and you've been looking for a nice beginner oud, this one is a great one. It has fantastic performance, and I am loving this one. The next two perfumes I have spoken about ad nauseum, but there is just something about these fragrances that I am addicted to. I love them, and maybe it's because I'm just really into sandalwood, and I know I'm gonna be wearing these. I cannot stop wearing them. They are by the brand Who Is Elijah, which is like a clean brand from Australia, and I'm telling you what, well, let me talk about the perfumes. This one's Morning After, and this one is His Her. You do not need both. They are very, very similar. They are in my opinion, they're a more feminine version of Santal 33. I do enjoy Santal 33. I didn't buy it for years because on one of my coworkers, it does smell like dill pickle dressing, and I was not about to buy it for myself. However, I finally bought one of the small bottles. I wore it and it doesn't pull dill on me, but it does. It is a little bit masculine leaning. It has leather. There's a lot of spices. It's very, very warm. And even though I do enjoy it, I would prefer smelling it on somebody else. I think somebody else that doesn't pull dill pickle, but I still love that general profile. These two are my feminine version, and they are right up my alley. His Her is more of an everyday perfume. It's something that I tend to wear more in the spring when it's a little bit warmer. It is a little bit cooler of a fragrance. This has violet leaf, so I definitely get, so it's sandalwood, it's spicy sandalwood, but this one has violet leaf, and violet leaf to me comes off like cucumber. So this one has a really nice cucumbery freshness, and maybe that's why I tend to wear it more when it's slightly warmer. They're both great, you know, during the colder months, but this one I would wear year round. Morning After to me is something that I love to wear in the colder months. It still is a spicy sandalwood. This is warmer, it's deeper, it's richer, and it has a sweetness in the dry down. This has to have some sort of vanilla or resin. I would pick vanilla over a resin because it's not an ambery sweetness. It's more of a vanillic sweetness to me, but it's very subtle. It is just, these are delicious. I can't stop wearing them. I love them. I discovered them over on Instagram, bought the Discovery set. I think there's something for everybody in that line. I personally, these were my favorite, and I will be wearing these. So not only do I buy perfumes that I enjoy the scent of, but I also like to get perfumes that are very unique. And one of my more unique pickups this year, now I've shown this a bunch of times over on Instagram, but this has never made, I don't think it's ever made a video here on YouTube, and it's called Naked Dance. And this cap is so pretty. I don't know if you can appreciate it. Each cap is handmade, and it is special to each bottle. So there are no two caps that are the same. I'm not sure what it's made of, what stone and resin it's made of, but it's absolutely gorgeous. This one is going to be a love or hate. I don't think there's really any middle ground. This is a very earthy, starchy perfume with rice. So in addition to having a nice rice touch, there is clay. So it definitely has a clay earthiness. And if you know that there's clay in here and then you smell it, you're like, yes, there's clay in here. So going along with that, there's iris. So iris can be lots of different things. It can be waxy, it can be powdery, it can be vegetal. It's very powdery in here. That kind of goes along with the rice. It goes along with the clay. There's also vetiver in here. There's a little bit of a freshness. There's definitely a freshness in here. There's green tea. So that kind of saves it from being overly earthy, overly dry, overly starchy. And it's got the slightest touch of incense in the base. So a beautiful perfume that I love to wear. This just reads colder months to me. There's something very comforting and delicious and unique about Naked Dance. Another one I know I'm going to be pulling for in the colder months. I love it. I love woody perfumes, but I really love woody vanilla perfumes. Toss in an incense and it's perfection. And the prettiest woody vanilla with incense is right here. This is Beau by Lease. This has it is a woody vanilla, but has a very prominent incense note, which I do love. So this is a very, very woody perfume. And the POV, the point of view is, I want to say you're on the California coast, somewhere in the woods. So it's got 3 types of woods. There is sequoia, there's gaiac wood, and cedar. So it's very woody, very fresh, woody. It's got resins in here. I know there's LME, so I get a little bit of a pine incensey note, and the frankincense in here can come off a little bit green and smell like pine. So that just kind of goes along with the beautiful woody note. So it's slightly smoky, and as it dries down, the vanilla comes out more. It is not a gourmand perfume. To me, I'm very sensitive to vanilla. I like lots of vanilla, but this is for people who are afraid of vanilla. The vanilla is subtle, but it is detectable. So when I wear this to work, I wear this around friends, I'll have them smell it, and like in 4 or 5 hours in the dry down, they smell the vanilla. So it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It just balances the wood and the incense so perfectly. It is a gorgeous cooler weather perfume. Another new pickup for me this year is by the brand. It's called Private Mood. I did their discovery set and enjoyed basically all of them. I have 2 full bottles and will probably get more as the year progresses, but this one got me because it has a note of gingerbread. And I'm always looking for perfumes that have a really interesting note. So this is a citrusy vanilla. So this has citruses in it. So it's definitely a citrusy vanilla, but it's got a very prominent gingerbread, which gives it a lot of warmth. A lot of citrusy vanillas that I have just kind of read warmer weather. They are great in the warmer months, but the heavy gingerbread note in here anchors it, really kind of puts it more in the gourmand, cooler weather territory. So even though it is warm, it has a warmth to it from the gingerbread, it's still citrusy. It's probably orange in here, maybe mandarin, and the slightest hint of florals. And I mean the slightest hint. If you're super sensitive to florals, I have friends who only like gourmands and they're super sensitive to florals. You might pick up on them in here, but to me this is a gourmand perfume with the slightest hint of a floral, probably maybe orange blossom or neroli to go along with the orange or mandarin note that's in here. So if you do not like your perfumes to smell like food, you might want to stay away from this because it is a gourmand perfume. Even though it has some florals in it, there's something like a crackly caramel, like a crackled caramel topping kind of running throughout it. So 100% gourmand, very nice with the gingerbread. So a beautiful citrusy vanilla with gingerbread and a little bit of caramel sweetness. I do enjoy wearing florals year round. When it's colder, I tend to pull for what I call my gourmandy florals. And when I looked at my collection and I said, what floral based perfume or a fragrance that has heavy floral notes in it do I know I'm going to pull for in the next couple months? And the first one I went to, and the one I know I'm going to wear, it's Lamar by Kajal. I have a few others in the line. Dahab has a really nice passion fruit, apple, musk profile. This one is gorgeous. So it has fruits and florals and wood and amber. So this has pineapple in the top. It's got red berries. So the pineapple to me is very juicy. It's ripe. It's almost overripe, kind of like a ripe grilled juicy pineapple. The red berries give it a little bit of tartness to pull it out of that sticky sweet territory. So it's not overly sweet. It's got a nice tartness from the red berries. And then you get into the florals. It's got a lot of spices, but I know coriander for sure. The florals are jasmine and rose. When I first got it, the jasmine pulled a little bit more on me, but the more I wear it, the rose kind of pulls more on me, particularly in the deep dry down. I get the jasmine earlier on, but the rose kind of stays around, and then it dries into this really nice floral, woody, amber perfume with the slightest touch of fruits. It's not as musky as Dahab, and surprisingly, this is a major compliment getter. Some perfumes I wear, and I know they're gonna get me compliments. Of course, I don't wear perfume to get compliments. I wear them for me. And some perfumes, I'm not sure what people are gonna think. This one is a major compliment getter. It is just a very pretty perfume when you wear it, and the sillage it kicks out is quite beautiful. I will be wearing this one for sure. And it has fantastic performance. Okay, I only have 2 more. I could have had 20 in here, but I really tried to keep it around 10, and then I'm gonna do oodles of videos with other beautiful fragrances that are great in the fall and winter, more of like themed perfumes. But the last 2 that I know I'm gonna be wearing this fall, one is kind of another incensey, woody perfume with some sweetness. It is sandalwood and oak. I love the scents of wood perfumes. This one is going to be a full bottle. I actually went to buy the full bottle and it was sold out, so I will be getting that sometime this year. It is a beautiful perfume. So again, it's an incensey woody perfume that if you like something like Beau, they're not the same. They're not remotely the same. They're similar in that they are both incensey woody perfumes with some sweetness. Beau has a lot of vanilla in the dry down. This one doesn't really have vanilla, but it has, I want to say, sugar cubes. So sugar cubes, a little bit of herbs or aromatics. I want to say sage or thyme. It's a little bit more fresh. It's a little bit more aromatic. It's a little bit more green, but definitely have that beautiful sandalwood and incense in here. And the opening in here has a really nice pepperiness that I do not get in Beau. So it's peppery, it's a little bit more herbal, a little bit more aromatic, beautiful incense, beautiful wood, beautiful sandalwood, and just the touch of sweetness. This is not a sweet perfume, but if that little bit of a sweetness wasn't in here, this would be too bitter. This would kind of pull in the bitter zone, the dry bitter zone, and I don't think it would be as beautiful as it is. I just adore this perfume. I kind of babied it last year because I only had the small bottle, but I will be getting a bigger bottle and going to town with this beauty. It's gorgeous. And the last one is a perfume that features a note that for a while I was kind of obsessed with. I was obsessed with getting perfumes that had popcorn, the note of popcorn in them. And I tried many, I sampled many, and actually purchased a few, and they just, man, popcorn is really, really hard to do well in a perfume. So I'm down. I had 5 at one time. I'm only down to 2 perfumes that have popcorn. One is the beauty right here. It's called Gardez. This one is my favorite perfume that has the note of popcorn, and it is perfect for the colder months. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen me shown this. Haven't shown it in a video because this reads colder months to me. It is another perfume that has a strong leather accord. So this is really leather, popcorn, some fruits, and wood. And that's basically what I get in here. So the leather in here, so I have lots of perfumes that have leather, suede, white leather. This is a black leather. This is an oily black leather with a rich popcorn, the slightest hint of a fruitiness. I want to say there's like apricot and cassis or black currant. It's subtle, but it's there in a beautiful woody base in the dry down. This is as if you got this beautiful, like slick, recently oiled, recently treated black leather jacket, and you took it off and you spilled some popcorn on your jacket and it sat there for several hours. So when you picked up the jacket and you brushed the popcorn off, some of those oils from the popcorn would be lingering in the jacket. So you've got that rich black leather with some dark warm popcorn or popcorn oils, a little bit of pepper, and the slightest touch of some fruits to save it again from being, too rich, too warm, too dark. those, a little bit of a fruits really kind of brighten it up and definitely make it, I think, more universally appealing and brings it into the unisex zone. Although I do think some people might think this leans masculine. Oh, I don't, man, gosh, that smells so good. And what do you know, the notes are on the back. So it does have some florals listed, to be honest. It has orris and jasmine. I really don't get a ton of florals. I get the notes that I talked about. So apricot, blackberry leaf, it's got pink pepper, orris, jasmine, cassis, there's that black currant, and then black leather, cedarwood, and popcorn in the base. This is gorgeous. This is a more expensive line, but the good news is that they carry the Discovery set. I highly, highly, highly recommend trying that first. I also got to smell them when I was down in Houston at the Neiman Marcus store. I sniffed them all, and also I've ordered a couple of travel sets from Scentbird. Scentbird carries this line too. So definitely try before you buy, and if you're looking for a full bottle, they kindly gave me a discount code, and I will list that below if you ever want to buy a full bottle, because it is pricey, but these bottles are so cool looking. And that is it. Those are just a handful or 2 handfuls of some beautiful niche fall perfumes that I know I will be wearing in the next couple months that don't include honey and tobacco. That's an entire other video in and of itself. I counted my tobacco honey perfumes and I have over 20, so I'm gonna have to narrow that down when I do that video, which will be coming up in the next month or so. And like I said, I will do my affordable options for the fall and winter. I know I have a bunch of you that are really looking for some more affordable options. I've got some great ones that I can't wait to tell you about. So that's it. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for stopping by. I'd love to hear what you're wearing this fall season. Let us know in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.